I'll open up the floor, and if anybody wants to talk about, maybe their own experiences that they've had as artists as a starting point, and then go from there.
I'm shy.
Oh, come on. If I can stand up here, anybody can. You can take it from me.
I can break dance.
Sometimes that's a nice way to talk. Anybody want to talk?
Can you start us off with a question?
Okay. Has anyone had alienating experiences in regard to their calling as an artist, or is anyone?
Oh my God. Seriously?
Yeah, like hard ones. Like I've had quite a few in my life, starting with my family and moving forward. So it's just that this drive inside me is the strongest part of who I am. It is the strongest part. The need to express, the need to write, the need to make music.
I think paint is too expensive.
Paint is too expensive, but you can go to Walmart and get the cheap watercolors. I used to do that all the time. Anyone else? Gosh, it's quiet in here.
It's weird to talk without the microphone,
It's
but
okay. You want it? Come on up. Come on up. Have a yap. Attaboy, he's brave. Come on. This is how you get over things.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
I guess the first thought that came to mind was when I've maybe sat down to draw something, I've thought about as I drew something that I've sort of concerned myself with whether or not somebody else would want to see that versus just drawing what comes to mind.
And you're creating for like other people.
It's hard not to.
It's hard to avoid being concerned how other people will perceive what you're doing. But
it's fucking impossible.
It's impossible.
Impossible.
Nearly impossible
Nearly
to just purely create without thinking of other eyes. But it's, so things like this can kind of break your fears of doing something wrong.
That's right. The wrong thing's got to go. Like, you got to be arrogant. I know, and I am. I'm a very arrogant person, so in some ways, and I'm not afraid to admit that.
Wicked.
If I wasn't, I wouldn't be able to stand up here. But there is a really remarkable difference between confidence and arrogance, and a very fine line between the two. And I think, you only get more strong in yourself as you confront your fears. And whatever fears you have, stare them in the eye and get over them. I mean, I remember, for example, one time, I used to have a fear of heights when I was young, and I used to let it totally rule me. And then I decided one summer I was just going to get over it. So I got a job scaffolding. I scaffolded for a whole summer. I'll tell you, by the end of the summer, I didn't give a shit.
Right on.
So, my attitude is, if you're afraid of something, that's a flag. Confront it, and every time you do, you get stronger.
Except for snakes, I can't trust those.
I don't think anybody can, but they are kind of cool. I like them. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Come here.
Woo! Atta girl! I like the orange flip-flops. They're awesome.
Satsuma, actually.
Satsuma. He knows his colors.
I missed the first part of your lecture, but I heard from back there you saying Renaissance, and I heard something else about
alienation
and whether or not people have talent. And it reminds me of a piece I read a while ago about, sorry, I'm out of breath from my short jog.
That short jog.
Yeah,
Sure
the 10 steps. You go into a kindergarten classroom and say, how many people here can sing? Every kid will put up their hand.
That's right.
Junior high, how many people can sing? Maybe one person reluctantly might put up their hand. But the fact is that anyone can make art.
Right.
And the alienating factor keeps people from doing it.
That's right.
And just about in any medium, I think, the Renaissance thing reminded me that, there was a time when every person had an art, a skill that they would develop, whether it was an instrument or they drew or voice, and somehow that's just been phased out of society.
That's a good
almost
point.
Completely.
That's a really good point too. Because I think, honestly, a lot of it has to do with what we're brought up with and the messages we receive from our environment when we're young. When we're told from a young age that, oh, well, that's awful. You're really bad at math, Sarah. You're not a numbers person. I heard that so often. And not only that, but I am mildly dyslexic, but it doesn't mean I can't do the work.
Right.
It means I have to work harder.
Right. And the same thing happens in reverse, where a lot of people who don't have an immediate accessible talent don't build, don't work on it. They just say, that's not for me, it's not a part of my life. And I think that absolutely contributes to the attitude people have about art in our society.
Totally. And we are living, I mean, we have to consider where we're living too. And what, you know, I mean, Regina is a very, I mean, I'm from Regina, I shouldn't assume that everyone is, but it's a very, you know, I mean, the government is the bulk of the job, like, market, right? So you do consider that when you're walking out there, you're walking among the majority of people who work for government. So you're not always going to get the best response.